We've started the discussion session with languages. We now move on to a region, Kashmir, which is very interesting for its cultural traditions. I leave aside the political implications of that region. I only talk about the, the cultural traditions, the music, the dance, the poetry that defines the essence of a region, whichever part of the world it is. The boundaries, the border lines can never be the decisive factor for the essence of any region. The essence are the people, their culture, they connect. And I'm delighted that we have Shri M K Raina with us today. Shri M K Raina is one of India's best known theatre actors and directors. Since 1972, he has been a freelance theatre worker and a film person working all over India in many languages and with many traditional forms. Besides being a practicing actor-director in theatre and media, he is also known as a cultural activist. He has received the Sanskriti Samman in 1980, the Sahitya Kala Parishad Award in 1981, Best Director of the Year by West Bengal government in 1982, and the Best Directors Award of Punjabi Akademi, Delhi in 1987. Shri M K Raina, we will showcase and screen the film Mann Faqeeri by him. May I invite him to be here and introduce us to the thought process for the film, for touching the cultural, the music of a region which is very disturbed, and how beautifully he touches that and shares that with us. May I invite Shri M K Raina. Thank you.
Thank you, Manjari ji. Film is there, and you will see it, and then I talk about the film. But the motivation to this film was that, as she said, she's not going to touch the political dimension of it. Purely for political dimensions, I had to make this film. For 1.5 decades, I've been working and going to Kashmir. I worked there in the village with folk actors, created a lot of performance work which has gone all over country. I conduct workshops with orphans, with children, widows, with teachers to change their attitude. And also important workshops which we did was the children who had seen their father being shot by terrorists. They were the most torn children. While this was happening, I suddenly realized that nothing is documented, nothing is known about Kashmir. There is a free field, anybody comes in, but nothing we can back up on. And I realized culture is the last priority in a conflict times. And in Kashmir, this is not the priority at all. They got other priorities. So I was all the time thinking, how do I record, what do I do? This will go, because the ustads themselves are disappearing. They're old, they are dying. Both in folk theatre, in Sufi Kala music, in folk music, and in many other areas. So I thought this is an opportunity if I can ask. In PSBT, I just tried giving them an application, and after a few months I got a response, please write more about it. And it took them 6 months to me writing more, writing. Finally, I got reply, okay, we give you this money, which was very small money, because the film which we wanted to shoot was in all the 4 seasons of Kashmir, the landscape of Kashmir and the poetry. So this film, it has subtitles, and the recitation of Kashmiri poems is done by one of the great masters of Kashmiri poetry, Rahman Rahi, who is highly celebrated all over country. He has got Sanskriti Samman, he has got Kalidas Samman, fellow of the Akademi, and he has recited poems, but we have subtitles. And what politicians normally talk about, what is Kashmiriyat, etc., they have their own take and their own dictionary. Here you will see really how culture weaves itself beyond the traditions of faith and beyond the traditions of borders. You will see that in this film. Film is no commentary, it is talked by the performers themselves. Any question after that? we make calls. Please see the film.
That was a beautiful film. May I invite Shri M K Raina to come here? And I hope and wish that you make many more films. You need to make more films like this for us to preserve a future.
Well, I apologize for the sound. It was not a good sound projection, but you just held yourself. That is very grateful to you guys. Otherwise, something's wrong with it. Not a good technician here. Thank you. There is no question. Yeah.
How much of this is left? Is all this that you have...
He is gone, but he has trained his 4 children very well. And that the man who was with the cap, he is still there. He was a revolutionary during the height of terrorism. He quietly could not practice much. What he did, he got the village girls. And the first time outside the tradition, normally it is a male who will play. He made this group. And in fact, I brought this group to Delhi also in 90 some time back. And they are continuing there. But state, no. It's an individual effort. Everybody is putting on it.
I think it's an actual fusion of what you were saying. Sufiana is not only one genre. It's got classical, it's got folk, it's got spiritual, it's got every genre in it. And I thank you for capturing that.
Thank you. You see, you have to understand my belief and firm belief is there's nothing pure. A potato came from somewhere, tomato came from pigeon. So those people who talk, it is the pure. And you know, culture is like you are trying to hold water together. It comes off. You can't. It crosses borders. It doesn't remain. It crosses religions, crosses everything. And now these kind of concepts are in danger today, as we see more and more, putting on these blinkers is happening. It's all the more challenging to foreground these beliefs. Yeah. No, that was, you see what happened, those were the great times. You see, Tibat Bakal was one of the great Ustad. This picture, I have dedicated to him also this film. He composed for Shivratri that used to happen in Kashmir at Shiv Leela in Sufiana. I have a scratch tape of that. Amazing. And in response to that, there was a folk music composer called Mohanlal Ahma. He sang Naate Kalam, which was every Eid, that was the first thing they will play it on the radio there, both from the radio there. Those were the great traditions there, great traditions they used to. Some of them do play sometimes if you ask them to play.
I want to ask that as when you made this film, how much do you see, because this is completely focusing on those musicians and their traditions, so it gives a kind of also a warped focus. But I want to understand how much of these traditions do you find actually interwoven in the life today, or are these just become fringe elements?
No, you see what happened, I'll tell you. In Kashmir, in every village or mohalla, you will have a masjid, you have a temple, and you have a dargah. Dargah is a place which is secular, liberal, anybody can come and you can sing, you can do anything you want to there. Temples, they do their business, and the business of mosques, they will go to mosque. And these were the secular places. And then there is a tradition called shab, where these musicians will be invited, and there will be peer and there will be murshid, and it will be all night singing, it will be feasting, charas, and night has gone a little underground, but it is there. You've been wrong to say that they have quietly kept it underneath. You saw I could shoot one of them when they know that little scene that I could do. But they can't go openly, because openly there's a Wahhabi nonsense going on quite a bit there. And that is the negotiating and struggle of the Kashmiris today. Because there are new mosques coming up with Saudi money, the Wahhabi mosque. And in fact, they will tell you, what the hell, we've got such beautiful mosques, why should we have this mosque here? But that contestation is fought by people themselves. State is not intervening in it. But for example, you remember at one time there was this hangama about the burqa, everyone was NDTV and everybody, it was negotiated by girls. They said, we will not obey it. And they had to let it go. Because there is that corridor of discussion and debate between people among them. This is not right, this is right. And in fact, when I was, not 2002, when I went there, and one of the shawlwalas at Nehru Park told me that, चलो आज शब पे आज पे मैं क्या बात कर रहे हो है क्या कहते तुम चलो तो सही हम सब दिखाएंगे you come with me. And that ustad, he used to, they have these mahfils, still they do that. It is there, it is living, it's there are musicians, still, for those boys you saw them with the ustad playing, they're civil engineer, no job, but he's learning this music. It will not die this way, but the point is, how long can this go unless and there is some kind of an backup, recognition? I think they need it, like everybody needs it. We are talking of culture, this political nonsense of culture, but nobody's bothered about it. Believe me, petty managers are taking money from the state who will do nothing. There is no culture concept across India, everywhere. State gives money. Government of India is giving a lot of money, but it is not going. For example, the Bhand piece you saw in that, they don't know even there is a grant they can ask for. They have no knowledge, huh?
Thank you so much for this film. I also really liked your capturing, the integration of hand, heart, and head, especially when you looked at the people who are making the instrument. I mean, very rarely do we look at that. How he looks at the wood, how he says that this wood has, this tree has seen the music of the water. That is very beautifully done.
He is
We
amazing
normally
guy.
don't look at what instruments and what instruments makers also, how they
You see, in fact, I have talked about it, that he's the only person now left in this country who's making santoor. He makes Shiv Kumar's santoor. And I said, why don't you have an apprentice? He says, where will I get food for him? अब जो चल रहा है चलने दो मुझे तंग नहीं करो. I had 2 daughters, I got them married, that's it. And state has no idea about it. Saz Kashmir, you saw them playing that Jalorak instrument. Iran has a Saz Kashmir, which is a very small one. Hardly players now. Makers, no. There is the Sornai, which is this wind instrument. It's a story I would like to share with you, and there's nobody now who can make it. So you buy it from the old one. And I was doing a workshop with them, and I had this little scholarship for 2 years for the youngsters to learn. And they said, give us a Sornai. I said, okay, I'll get a Sornai for you. We went to this old man who was almost 75, 80, in one way, Kulgama, which is now a big thing, terrorist base. And we went with Ustads requesting to make us. He says, nobody buys. Now I don't make it. I just left it. I said, please make it. I persuaded him. And I gave him even advance money to make it. And after 2 months, I get a call, he has passed away. So I went back and went, because Kashmir में हमारी एक ताज़ियत पे हम जाएंगे, अगर 2 महीने बाद भी, I went to for condolence meeting. There was his wife, his children there, sons who were doing furniture business. Their shop, garbage almaris and other things. And I just raised the subject. I said, did you ever see him making it? He said, oh, we saw him making it. I said, have you ever made it? He said, no, it's difficult, we can't make it. I said, would you like to try it? No, how can we try it? So I used a Kashmiri sentimental approach to it. I said, don't you think your father was carrying a tradition of 1,000 years alone? I believe if you can try it, you may fail. But you have seen him how he does, you know it. And their mother says, yes, they know it. Just a little bit. I said, try it, we will fund it. And please make for us 4 sons. I said, so we will try it, okay, but we don't have the lakadi. Now you see, that lakadi is not in Kashmir. Sornai lakadi is called tahal, which comes from Jammu. I said, oh, I'll get it. I picked up my mobile phone and called my junior. I said, pick up some wood from there, drop it at Anantnag, such and such shop. And we gave it to him. They made, but they did not completely succeed. So there are these tragic stories. Instrument going, music going, grammar of music going, musicology going, and the memory going. That is the biggest. It's not only there, only Rajasthan has done it. They have set up some institution where they are recreating these instruments. In fact, they told me, you come with them, we'll see, we can help you out. But, it's a project. It's not a simple thing to do it. I mean, I can go on talking, but who does it? Who supports it? There's nothing like that. So I always say, you have Republic Day parade of folk artists, 25th here, you will not have them. It will be all gone. As I see, I travel quite a bit in the countryside. People will not be there to put, you will be putting the shahar ke walon ko tum tribal bana ke naach karoge. It won't be their rhythm or their instruments. Thank you.